Really appreciate that. Now, can you take a moment to discuss what the candidate should expect for the next steps of their process? And I know that it can vary based on the visa, the perm process, the position, et cetera. So if you can, and just kind of begin by labeling the positions and the work status, maybe immigrant, non-immigrant status, and the visas and the actual employer status. Take a moment to explain what they should expect for step two, either it be I-140 approved or the next steps for the other classifications from your
Sure,
team and legally.
sure. So we'll just keep discussing registered nurses for now with the green card process. And so after the I-140 is approved, your case will move forward to what's called the National Visa Center, where you will collect additional information that will be submitted that they will process for your interview. The documents that you'll submit are a copy of your birth certificate, your marriage certificate. So a couple of the documents that you submit as part of the I-140. And then you'll also submit police clearances for countries that you've lived in for about 6 months since you turned 16. There's different requirements for each country that our legal team would assist you with, but in general, you would need a police clearance from a country that you've lived in for more than 6 months. So those are the types of documents that you would collect. You would collect them for both yourself and your family members. As Alex mentioned, that there may be a delay in when you can move forward with submitting those documents, just depending on when the National Visa Center is accepting documents based on your priority date. So our team, we typically move forward with collecting your documents, even if they cannot be submitted, so that once that priority date becomes current, we can move forward with submitting right away. So those are the documents that you'll submit. You'll also have a form called a DS-260 that reviews your biographic information. It will confirm that you've abided by all immigration regulations, that you won't pose security risks. So it'll go through the entire your entire case history, places you've lived, countries you've visited. And those are the types of questions that they'll ask you at your interview. So that's the middle stage of the process, is you completing that DS-260 and submitting your civil documents. Once those documents are submitted, the government will review them and issue what's called a documentarily qualified notice. And then at that stage, there's nothing more that you need to do until your interview is scheduled. And a lot of times you'll have that DQ notice, the documentary qualified notice, and it could still be a couple of years until your interview is scheduled, depending on the priority date and depending on when your case became documentarily qualified. So the consulate will schedule interviews in the order of dates are documentarily qualified and as long as their priority dates are current. So once you receive that documentarily qualified notice, there's nothing more that you need to do, but you may still be waiting for a couple of years depending on the priority dates. Once your interview is scheduled, then you will attend the interview at the consulate and you'll bring a copy of all of those documents that you submitted as part of the NVC process. And the employer or the consulate will ask you questions regarding your employment as a registered nurse. So you'll need to know the work site location where you will be working, the job duties that you will be performing, your salary, the basic information regarding your employment. That's most of the questions that the consulate will ask you. And sometimes they'll review a couple of questions from the DS-260 just to confirm that you've abided by all of the immigration regulations. So the interview process is typically pretty quick. It's about 10 minutes long. They quickly review everything to confirm that you've met all of the requirements. You'll find in the immigration process that most of the steps you have to complete are very straightforward. It's collecting information that you'll have readily available. But the biggest hurdle of the immigration process is just waiting for the next step. But once you approach the next step, the steps can quickly become resolved. It's just waiting for priority dates to become current.